It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
Will you also be buying, I feel like you kind of have to do these at the same time. If you're buying a stake and a racehorse, you also got to buy a couple thousand shares of Elmer's. Kind of cover both, like cover the whole gauntlet of,
that way it's
horse life.
It's a full circle investment.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the start of their life,
getting the end of their life.
Kyle.
The fact that you haven't gotten to anger yet, because I would argue Brother Mike went from denial to anger within minutes.
I don't even know if he is still alive. I have not heard from him.
I do know how, and you know how I know that? I got an email early this morning wanting me to buy a stake and a racehorse from Brother Mike.
Seriously?
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Toby. Think you need a nail trim there, buddy.
Some mornings he's nice and peaceful and calm.
Toby the podcast dog, obviously, we're talking about.
And some days he is ready to roll, man.
Boy.
And you cooping him up in this room is the biggest affront to his sensibility as a dog.
I think where he's laying right... Oh, man. He was laying right in front of the sticker wall. It would have been a perfect opportunity to get a picture to, to show people that we still want stickers for the sticker wall. Plus, everyone loves a good dog picture.
Show mascot Toby.
Yeah.
Who this morning is especially restless.
He is.
It seems.
Look at him. He's trying to dig.
He is. He's trying to dig his way out of this room. He's like he's the physical manifestation of what I've wanted to do for years, which is get away from this disaster.
Just get out. Toby, lay down, buddy.
I just want to,
Come on, man.
Call a spade and end this thing on the lowest note imaginable.
All right. I mean, I can hit the outro music if you want.
What do you think?
We can just wrap this up.
How long do you think an average podcast lasts? And I'm not talking episode length. I'm talking duration start to finish.
Like from their first episode to the last?
Yeah.
I bet that we've blown the average out of the water. I would think it's maybe 20, 25 episodes.
A very quick Google search says the average episode length, which again is not what we're talking about here, is 20 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
So I think maybe we should shoot for that. Should we shoot for 30-minuters?
Boy, talk about the pendulum swinging the opposite way. Remember back in 2017 when you had your boo-boo?
Yep.
Your leg boo-boo, and you had nothing else to do.
Right.
Neither of us had kids yet. I wasn't even married yet.
Yeah.
And we were just recording for hours at a time. I think, did we have a 3-hour episode?
I think we hit
I know we came close.
I want to say it was 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Oh, why didn't we hang on for just a couple more minutes?
Let me, while we filibuster and talk about this, I'll try to pull up the show description and try to hearken us back to that era this podcast. That was, what, a little over a year in?
Yeah. Yeah, because we started in sometime like midway through 16.
Yeah, so a little over a year in, we were so filled with stuff to talk about that we could not be bothered. You told your family, sorry, breakfast and lunch is up by yourself today. Mm-hmm. We've got big stuff to get to.
I didn't even have a family yet. Like I said, I wasn't.
You had a fiance at that point, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it may have been
depending on the time. I was unattached. I was a swinging bachelor.
It's crazy to go back to these episodes and look because I always wonder, like, I don't remember us talking about you getting engaged. I don't remember. If you put a gun to my head right now and said, how did I get engaged or when or how?
You have no idea?
No answer.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect you to.
It might
even
as
though
well
I know,
have been,
I know when you the scenery for you getting engaged, but hey, no big deal.
For my money, there's equal there's an equal chance you proposed on the top of a dune hill after you guys stepped out of a Jeep and blew sand out your nostrils because you just flew up one.
What do you think?
And then you got down on one knee, sand again flying off of your hair.
Right.
Wearing your board shorts or whatever. Said, hey, babe, want to get hitched? Me and the Jeeps are part of the deal.
The Jeep's my best man.
I am trying to pull up. Okay, so I am back into 2017, Steve.
Okay.
So I ruptured my Achilles beside the leg boo-boo. That was April 24.
Oh, so that was early 20. I was going to say, because I remember these marathon episodes being in APS 2.0.
Yeah.
But we weren't in there long into 20. I mean, we were out of there by September or October of 2017 because we bought this house 2 months before we got married in 2017.
Now, before even clicking the description of our marathon episode, let me give you the run times for just a few months there after I ruptured my Achilles. So
because you were out of work,
yep.
So it was basically, I'd say, hey, I'm on my way home from work. You want to record? And you'd swing by. It would be just after lunchtime. Because we would record... Didn't we record during the week then? I don't think we had jumped into our...
Oh, boy, I don't even remember.
Weekend record. I don't think that started until both of us had kids.
So this is the episode before I ruptured my Achilles was April 25th, 2017. And what's funny is that April 25th, 2017 was the date that I ruptured my Achilles.
Mm. Okay.
So this is obviously recorded before.
It would have been, because we played on Tuesdays.
And this one was 2 hours and 22 minutes. Oof. So this was before injury, and we were going 2 hours plus.
That will never happen again.
Ruptured my Achilles. We came back in here to record for the May 2nd episode, which was episode number 40. That one only went 2 hours and 9 minutes.
So at this point, you had your surgery?
By May, yeah. I mean, I went from
it was a couple days after
injury to surgery in less than 48 hours.
Okay.
So May 2nd, we came in for 2 hours and 9 minutes. Week after, 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 21 minutes, 2 hours 20 minutes, 2 hours 7 minutes was our Memorial Day holiday weekend. We recorded that on a holiday weekend, and we sat here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. We get into June for 2 hours and 32 minutes, and I think you and I probably had a heart-to-heart. And we said 2 hours and 32 minutes is too long.
Yeah.
So you and I sat down next week and went for an hour and 52. And then an hour and 54, 2 hours 23, 2 hours 14, 2 hours 23, 2 hours 35, 2 hours 31. We get to the end of July 25th, our 53rd episode
How have we not run out of stuff to talk about at this point?
July 25th, we went for 2 hours and 53 minutes. God. Do you want to guess? Now, I knew before clicking on this.
Okay.
The main thing we were going to talk about just based on the time.
Okay, so this is July of 17.
Yes.
I mean, it would have to be PK, right? It would have to be something because this is...
I think it's pre-K. I mean, you weren't doing marriage counseling class. You didn't get the approval from the Lord until probably summer of 2018, right?
Well, no, because we got married at the end of 17.
Are you sure?
We got married November of 17.
Boy, I feel like you're off on that. Can you double check?
Yeah, because you made me think, but yes.
Okay.
No, because it was 11/18 of 17.
Well, you know what? For this week only, July 25th, 2017, the Lord took a break.
Okay. Because I remember we started that may have been a little bit early, but we started it, I bet it was August or September, because I think we had 6 different classes with PK. Mm-hmm. That was, of course, my premarital counseling.
So that's where you guys, again, I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum back then. You guys sat down, talked about all your favorite things, your least favorite things, why she hates you, what you love about her.
The drywall fight.
Yes, the drywall fight.
The vacuum cleaner fight.
This was pre-crockpot fight.
This is probably right around the time of crockpot fight.
I don't know if I ever asked you. I'm sure I did. This was, almost 6 years ago now. Did PK ever get personal Or was it kind of the wink, wink, nudge, nod, nod that, oh, you guys living together, huh? You sleeping in separate beds?
No, there was some... He didn't specifically come out and say, are you doing XYZ?
Right.
But there was, there was some talk about intimacy.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, that would be uncomfortable. Yeah. Now,
yeah, it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world.
But only because this was a guy that you legitimately did not know before these 4-hour-long classes or however many it was. So for him to, break from, so what do you guys think about sharing your retirement funds? To be like, where was the last place you did it?
Yeah. Do you remember actually, you probably would have never worked with him, I don't think. The old general manager at the radio station.
What's the name?
Phil.
Phil, yes. Phil Catlett, right?
That was basically PK.
Okay. In terms of stature and demeanor and...
Oh, I mean, and he looked a lot like him, too. Like, looked very similar. But, I mean, Phil was... he was a God-fearing man, and he was very involved in his church, and a wonderful guy. But, I mean, he had a Bible on his desk at work. Like, this is the kind of person that you're talking about. So yeah, it's a little uncomfortable when certain subjects come up.
I guess part of me would almost wonder, is it more uncomfortable being someone who has really never met the guy?
Yeah.
Or if you were someone who had been going to visit this man as on a weekly basis for your whole life type of thing, because at least there you're like, well, I don't know this person. It's pretty much me talking to the internet.
To a stranger. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't that uncomfortable. Just, I think my threshold for uncomfortable conversations is a little higher just based on what I do, like the radio show. Like, I have no problem saying, like, hey, I got a vasectomy yesterday. Talking to a complete stranger.
Right.
Whereas every now and then I have to tell myself, hey, this isn't normal. Most people don't feel that comfortable sharing information like that. But...
Right, and I feel like it probably is a little bit different in that regard, where you're sharing something about yourself.
Yeah.
Rather than you're not sitting down in front of a microphone going, boy, oh boy, you're not going to believe what my old lady did to me last night, or something like that,
Right. Yeah.
Where it would be, hey, that's a bit different in terms of talking about or being open.
Sure.
I think there's a difference between being open and being like, hey, that's a bit
too much.
A little bit much. While we're talking, I'm quickly going through a lot of our recaps from after this marathon episode, which again, we're going to get back to that, to see when we talked about PK. And I am at the end of August, and I've got nothing from PK in the entire month of August.
I wonder, maybe it was before then. It might have actually been earlier than that.
And I'm in September, and we've got rules on dating after our spouses die, Steve's house selling woes, our plan for Pete the Pirate real estate.
Oh, that was an all-timer right there.
But so again, we were making plans to date after our spouses died before you even had
a spouse.
Look,
it's good to be prepared.
I wonder if it was a closer to the wedding situation.
I don't feel like it was. I specifically remember being there when it was warm out. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. So, this might have been spring.
Open mic night at Steve's wedding. That never happened. I'm through September, but anyway, I don't know the last time we talked about PK, and now I'm starting to question if we ever did.
Do you think that this is just something we both...
Maybe you and I just had a whole bit...
we both fabricated in our brains.
Off podcast about this guy you had to interview for the right to be married.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go back, Steve, quickly. So, we are on July 25th, 2017.
You said it was 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Yeah, which to date is I'm comfortable saying, for the life of this podcast, that will be the longest podcast we ever produce.
I mean, unless something tragic happens.
Yeah. I'll say this. There's only 4 real bits we did that episode. It said we included the Fast Five. So,
all right, well, that takes up easily 40 minutes.
Right, which is part of the reason we ended up scrapping it, because we had so much other pertinent stuff to get to.
Okay.
We couldn't be bothered to waste time on the Fast Five.
We're back in July of 17.
Now, again, this was just me knowing that date. Mm-hmm. I knew exactly something that we were talking about.
Oh, that had to be the Boston trip, right? Is that when the idea for the Boston trip came up?
That is the second bullet point. We recapped our whirlwind trip to Boston.
Oh, okay. I knew that was sometime in the summer.
We went, and that was the weekend before. Okay. So that wasn't even the first thing we got to.
What was more important than that?
Something that we discussed moments ago already. We opened the episode.
Oh, was this selling Annette's house?
No, this was the disastrous ending to our softball season. And I don't remember that whatsoever.
How did it end?
I don't know. 2017, that was the first year I was at the came back
at Palmer.
And that could not have been softball tough guy. That was middle of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if this ended in heartbreaking fashion.
I don't think so. We didn't even win a game, right? Or we won maybe one game?
I forget. Anyway, that was a disastrous ending to our softball season before we got into a recap of our whirlwind trip to Boston. I gave a movie review of Dunkirk, or I went and saw Dunkirk. I'm assuming I reviewed it. And lastly, before the Fast Five...
What the hell is Dunkirk?
The movie, the World War II film by Christopher Nolan?
Oh, not familiar.
Oh, my God. Well, I shouldn't be surprised anymore by your movie habits and lack of...
Right, yeah. I mean, why are you in any way surprised?
And lastly, Steve, you gave an update on the house hunt.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. That would have been... July 25th, I think that it was around... Oh, yeah, that was probably like the week that we found this house. Because we found it, it was the end of July or beginning of August, put in an offer. We closed I want to say it was like September 12th or something.
Okay.
And then we were in here a couple weeks after that. So, yeah, the days were winding down in APS 2.0.
Man, I'm going through our June. We had your friend Frank join us. Mm-hmm. We must have gotten mentioned on the side gig because it said, welcome to the new side gig listeners.
Plural?
Wow. They've left by now. And I'm into June. Yeah, I don't... I'm trying to find the... any discussion of PK. So you may be right. It may have been earlier in the year.
Yeah, it would have had to have been because we got engaged in December 9th of 16.
Yeah.
And within 48 hours, we had a date for our wedding.
Oh, really? So she was waiting for you to get off the pot, had known everything like, okay, maybe if he proposes before Christmas, we can lock in this date in 2018.
We had a location. We had a date. I think that we got engaged... it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
It may not have been 48 hours, but it wasn't 72 hours.
Right.
It was like that following Monday, we went and looked at 2 or 3 different venues. And one of the ones we looked at, that was our first choice. And when we looked at it, we were like, yep, this is it. Put the deposit. I think it was like a $500 deposit or something. Put it down. Yeah. We were ready because that is what determined the date that we got married.
So
just the availability of the venue.
I've thought about this a lot lately, that I think you get to a certain age, and I thought I was there, where you can essentially count on one hand.
Toby's digging into the garbage again, by the way.
The amount of weddings that you may have left to go to that you can think of.
That I'm, where I'm getting married?
No, that you're going to be invited to, because... You start going through your head, hey, friends, family. So until you get to that next generation.
Right.
Your nephews.
Yeah.
If a cousin, whatever.
Toby. Come on, man. Thank you. Sorry, bud. Sorry. We digress.
So you can kind of count how many nephews you have, or if you have any cousins, whatever, but that's the next generation, right?
Yeah.
So especially for us, we're in our late 20s, early 30s, and we're looking at, I'm counting the friends on my hand, well, he's unmarried. I wonder if they get married, if they'll just go to a courthouse, though.
We were actually talking about this last week, Annette and I were.
Yeah.
Because it's been a little while. I forget what we were doing. We were out for dinner. And when my mom was in town, she was watching the kids, so we went out for a dinner. And so we're just sitting there. We're like, yeah, it's been a while since we've been to a wedding.
Yeah.
I really want to go to a wedding.
Right.
I want to go to a wedding, like, maybe not where we have to go away, but at least where we're gone.
Like an overnight, maybe?
Overnight. Oh, Toby
So
just
go to...
unplugged my headphones.
So you're talking to where you would have to get a babysitter.
Yeah.
Or someone to watch both the kids, and you would have to get a hotel room, presumably.
Yes.
Or if not, get a hotel room still to where someone's watching the kids so you don't have to worry about picking them up and coming home, whatever.
Yeah, the last one that we were at was Bob's wedding.
Yep, in New Jersey.
Bob time. Mm-hmm. And I took full advantage of the fact that we did not have the kids. Well, I mean, Nicholas wasn't even born.
Right.
But, I mean, Annette was, we had just found out like weeks earlier that Annette was pregnant.
Okay, so you really ruined Annette's fun.
I had a designated driver, which was great. And
Yeah.
boy, did I again,
Utilize that.
took full advantage of that. Yeah. And that was a blast. We had a lot of fun at that wedding, but I want to do that again.
Now, don't you? You may have, and I don't want to put anybody on blast here, but another friend of the show is supposed to be getting married. Is that something you're going to be going
Another
to?
friend of the the show member, you mean?
No, a friend of this podcast.
Who?
Isn't our friend Doug getting married?
Oh, I don't know. Doug's been engaged for like a month, like
for quite a while.
3 years,
Okay,
probably.
so you don't know when that's happening.
Yeah, because I sent Doug, when Annette and I were having this conversation last week
Doug a
or whenever
text.
it was, I sent Doug a text. I was like, hey, man, when are you getting married? We were just talking about how it's been a while since we were at a wedding. And we want to go to one because we want to have fun.
So like the shrug emoji back.
No, he texted back because I think he's all for it. But he's like, you got to talk to Kristen,
Okay.
his fiance.
Yeah.
So he replied and he's like, I don't know, text this number and ask her. So I totally forgot about this. So I sent her a text.
Hey, when are you getting married?
No, I said, congratulations, you've won the sweepstakes from weddings.com for a free wedding.
Yeah.
What date are you thinking about? And then she never replied.
So this obviously seems to have been a topic among them.
Yeah. He
Hey,
said,
let's pick a date. Nah, no rush.
so he said that he asked her and she just went, ugh, whatever. So,
Boy, that would be a little bit depressing. I went from, again, having this thought and discussion in the past 6 months, a couple of times with Katie, to now getting 2 wedding invites for this year.
what?
And I know
Anyone I know?
And I know I have one early next year.
Anyone I know?
No, one is a high school friend, and that's a commute.
When
that
is-
is a go to Chicago in October for this one.
Is that, you think that's enough time for me to become good friends with this person? To make the B team invite?
I got to tell you, I have spoken to him once in 6 years, so I don't know that the bar is super high to jump through.
So you're saying I could pretty easily pass you?
Yeah, if you just got to weasel your way in, you can get the invite. And you guys,
Okay.
you can come on down to Chicago with us.
All right.
That is in October. And then my cousin.
I can ride with you? Carpooling? Yeah. Me, you, Katie?
How about this?
Katie in the back?
I'll drop you off at the train
I'll be in
station.
the front seat with some Mike and Ike's Slurpee or two. Make a fun old trip out of it.
I'll leave you at the train station.
All right, who's the second wedding that I'm going
It
to?
is my cousin.
Your cousin.
Is getting married in November.
Where?
Nearby, like
Local
nearby.
okay.
Yeah.
How's the venue look?
Steve, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have details. I know it's a somewhat outdoor affair.
Your parents going to be there
in November? I want to talk about it. Yeah. I hope my parents are there.
Okay.
Compared to,
I love talking to your parents.
yeah, rather than just me, that would be awkward. Yeah. Hey, where are you going today? Oh, I'm going to your niece's wedding. Oh, that's today.
Well, see you later.
Have a good one.
All right.
And then I have another one.
So I'll be sitting with you and your parents.
Yeah, we could probably just ditch. I could
Do
ditch.
you think Robert will be there too?
Oh yeah, Robert.
Is he invited?
Yeah, I guess I don't want to put him on the spot now because I don't know, right? I got to save the date. Now, does the save the date automatically mean an invite is coming whenever invite time?
Yes. If it's no save the date, and then you get an invite out of the blue, that means you did not make the A team, but enough people said no for you to then get the pity invite. Which, I'm going to be on the record, I am perfectly fine with the pity invite. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You got to cut it off somewhere.
Now, we could bring back what we had very briefly tried, if I had to guess, a year and a half ago, where you and I wanted to go to a listener's wedding.
Right, yeah.
And so not go, but I think where it probably got a little bit lost was we didn't want to just go. You and I wanted to MC the affair. I stand by it.
I still want to MC, but I'd be okay with just an invite. As long as it's me plus 3, so I can bring the whole family.
Oh, you really want to bring the kids?
I want to show up to a stranger's wedding with my whole family.
Whole family, and just, like, the first question out of your mouth is, like, where's the buffet?
Yeah, where's the open bar?
Yeah, exactly. If you are going to a wedding, or if you're having a wedding in the next, however long, and you've got an extra few seats at the throw together table. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't even need B team.
Yeah.
I'm fine with C team.
I don't even need a letter. Because I don't need a letter for it to come with a meal. Yeah. Because if I'm invited to the wedding, I know there's a meal. And I know that there's...
Yeah.
I will say this, and this might be a little needy. If it's a cash bar, don't invite me.
Oh, God, no.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean... Just beer and wine?
It can be a cash bar for everyone else.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not a cash bar.
Yeah, I don't know if you need me to... I don't know if you need to give me a little ID to flash...
Right.
Or a special wristband.
Yeah, some kind of card to scan.
Because I'm not even walking in with my wallet.
Yeah.
I'm walking in with an empty belly and a handful of Tylenol for when I drink too much.
Yeah, I would... Man, I'm jonesing to go to a wedding. And I'd like it. I would prefer for it to be a little bit of a trip, so I got to get a hotel room.
You prefer that?
I think I do.
Oh, man, I do not.
Well, I guess it depends. If it's a place where I've never been before, but I've always wanted to go, yes. I want to go away.
It's such a abbreviated affair.
That's all right.
That for me, it doesn't have to be a town like I want to visit. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's kind of aggravating if a wedding is an hour and a half away. Because then I'm thinking, well, boy, do I drive home?
Right.
You know, because if I drive home, I can't drink.
Sure.
But I don't have to get the hotel room and worry about that whole thing.
Yeah.
Long story short, if you're having a wedding and you've got that table 19, and it's always a table 19.
Yeah.
Always a table 19.
Yep. What was it from? Wasn't it the wedding singer? It was the mutant at table 9.
Table 9 is like prime seating.
Lady with the sideburns.
Yeah,
that's right. Guy with the mullet.
I have I have 2 weddings this year, and then I have a third next year, one that I am in.
Whoa.
And I don't know how I feel about that anymore.
Whoa, who's this for?
I mean, I don't want. I mean, I did. I'm trying to hedge it a little bit because I'm not just in it. I'm also the best man. No big deal. Jesus, no big deal.
Wow,
that'll be next May.
Okay. Who's this?
This is my good friend who lives a couple houses down from me.
Okay.
He's getting married presumably next May. I don't think there's a date set because they don't have a venue yet. So obviously, you can't say a date without having.
I met him before.
Yes, you have. If you look into.
Yeah. Have you ever said like, "Hey, what's Steve up to? We should hang out."
Now, knowing you, I could see by the time next May rolls around, 15 months,
right?
You entirely flipping. And not wanting anything to do with the wedding at all. Whether it's...
You said it's local, right?
Yes, it'll be local.
Strike one.
Yeah, you're going to be... You're coming home that night. And Lord knows on the bright side, you can't go get Annette pregnant again to get yourself a built-in...
Yeah, that stuff does not work anymore. Bright side... Okay, silver lining here.
Yeah.
I could Uber home.
Okay.
So I could have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Drink as much as I want.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of the ride-share service.
Yep. Drink as much as I want. The only downside is I got to get a ride back to pick up my car. How far, mileage-wise, how far are we talking?
They don't have a venue. I would assume it's going to be within 15 minutes either way. Let me ask you this. Okay. And maybe you know this more than I do. If I'm in the wedding and Katie's in the wedding, do we each get an invite? Or is it just...
So do you each get a +1?
Right, because we could make this work,
okay.
Right?
All right. So you could ask Annette to be your +1.
Yeah.
And Katie will no doubt ask me to be her +1.
Right. And then we get this situation figured out from the start.
Does that get me at the head table?
I don't know if +1 sit at the head table, do they?
Oh, boy.
Well, you're really working your way up to where you...
I mean, I'm one step away from giving a speech.
Seconds ago, you said you were okay with being at the table of mutants. And now you're working your way in to the head table and giving a speech.
Yeah. I mean, at least a blessing.
Can we pitch you as anything? So if I could get you in there, can we pitch you as anything? Maybe, can you be the MC? Would you be willing to...
Ooh, I can juggle.
I don't know how long that keeps the crowd entertained with just silence. Hey, everybody.
But there's no...
Meet me on the dance floor. I'm going to juggle. And then again, there's no music because it's not like you're bringing like a sound system with you.
No, but there's going to be a DJ.
So
you're a DJ or a band of some kind.
So you're interrupting the live music and dancing that people want to do.
I'm going to have a choreographed routine to whatever the big hit of the time is.
I'm putting it on the poll. Can Steve juggling be the entertainment at a wedding?
If anybody out there is getting married, I'm offering my services. It's going to cost you, but I'm offering my services.
So now you're charged. Okay. Boy, oh boy. These goalposts are constantly moving. We just wanted to get invited, and now you need to be paid to juggle.
While sitting at the head table.
And giving a speech. I'm not even going to say possible. I don't want to hedge that.
Yeah.
While giving a speech. Okay. Hey, listeners. Hear that? Need a couple guys there who don't know you? Your family is wondering why they're paying for the alcohol and food for these two? Mm-hmm. Steve and Kyle are your guys. We'll travel. Mm-hmm. You just got to put us up in a hotel, let us give a speech, and
sit at the head table.
And give Steve space and time to juggle.
Yeah. Again, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. But it's definitely a different going from, hey, I don't think I have any weddings coming up, to having 3 in the next 15 months and one that I'm a part of that I'll be having to plan bachelor party, whatever, so and all this stuff.
Where are we going for the bachelor party?
Well, I hope you get your bag packed, Steve.
Yeah.
Going to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, the Windy City.
Now, I can't think of a town.
Hold on, by the way, I'm going to open the door and send Toby up, but you just keep going.
Of the towns in this country, big, small, otherwise, I am trying to think of just one, that I could fathom Steve wanting to go to less than Las Vegas. And I may be way off base there. But one, I don't get the impression that you handle that Uber heat really well. 2, you don't gamble.
I would gamble.
You would? So I could see you sitting down at a blackjack table?
Probably not a blackjack table.
You're talking roulette?
I'll do roulette.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely do roulette.
Okay.
I mean, I'll play slots.
Okay.
Which isn't really gambling.
So you're going to bypass the best odds for the better, which is blackjack, and sprint right to the sucker games.
Well,
roulette and the slots.
I don't know how. I mean, I know how to play blackjack,
right?
But I don't know any strategy for blackjack,
right? And in Las Vegas, depending on the time and depending where you're sitting, you can get some real mean buttholes at a blackjack table.
I don't like those. I don't like the games where there are other people.
There should never be pressure.
Yeah,
playing your own cards and
right.
That's why I've always hesitated playing blackjack too.
Right.
I enjoy it somewhat, but I'm also super nervous that I'm going to be hitting a card that I'm not supposed to be, and then guy to the left of me is now super aggravated because that was his card, and now you screwed up the whole deck and yada yada.
I don't care. The only thing that is better than winning a lot of money would be winning a lot of money and simultaneously making the guy next to me lose a lot of money. I would thrive.
Okay, so this isn't a us versus them mentality for you in terms of, because a lot of people will say, hey, as a table, we want to do well as a table. We're all here to take away from the casino. You are instead saying, no, it's me versus you and the casino.
Okay, so if we're doing that us versus them mentality, say it's me and you at the table.
Yeah.
And, we're doing, hey, let's take down Bally's or take down the Win or whatever.
Coming for you, Caesars.
Yeah. If you win $1 million, you're not sharing that with me.
No, that's true. I mean, the idea would be table success. One person at the table is breeding other success for the other players, right?
Yeah, I don't understand how all that works. I don't understand the numbers. I get very overwhelmed just thinking about it. Like, it's hard enough. For instance, the times that we've done like game nights where we play those games where it's you and your wife, me and my wife, and we're playing those games where they're the strategy games where I'm holding my cards. That is enough for me. That is difficult enough for me to look at my cards and see where my guy is on the board or whatever, and trying to figure out, okay, how are these cards going to get me to advance to here?
Right.
But when you factor in that I have to now know, all right, well, if I have this card, this means that you probably have that card. So you could, my brain does, I don't know if that's like left brain, right brain, whatever it is, but my brain does not work like that. And I cannot process that information. And I think that that's why I'm not, like, gambling never really appealed to me.
But I would argue that's a normal mentality around if you were playing cards, right?
Yeah, but even that, I don't want to, like, I don't want to play cards. I'm not doing poker night with friends. I tried to do it when I was in college. My friend Ray from Ray Connections we would do a poker night every now and then, but I never knew what the hell I was doing.
Okay. And it's funny we talk about this because I just watched a documentary 2 days ago about what's called an advantage player for blackjack. Someone who is on all the facial recognition software. And I consider myself, I gamble. I like to gamble. I like gambling in a casino. I like gambling at the card tables. I like sports gambling. Whatever. I enjoy it. They showed the math between counting cards and other strategies at a casino that essentially get you on this list and, boot it out whenever they see you. And it was so over my head. And not understanding how I would be at a table, especially a full table with 5 or 6 other people where they're dealing 6 hands, all face up, and I'm giving a running tally. That's the idea, is that this certain number of cards counts as a +1. These certain cards count as a -1, and when the deck is plus a certain number, it gives you a player edge of more than 1%. You're supposed to raise your bets. And I'm thinking, man, I'm struggling to figure out standard procedure if it's 15, if I'm supposed to hit.
I don't need, none of what you said makes any sense to me.
So I agree with you that if we're in Las Vegas and we're sitting down at blackjack and someone's getting mad at me at a $5 table,
I mean, sorry, sir,
because I'm drunk and hitting on a 16 when I stole his card. Like, what do you want me to do, man?
But to go back, I would still love to go to Vegas.
Really?
I'll still do it.
Have you been there?
No, I've never been there.
Really?
No. So I would go, but I mean, I'm not going to lose thousands of dollars gambling.
No.
I'm not going to spend all my time at the craps table or anything, but I'm going to go and I'm going to eat my face off because the buffets, and I'm going to go to as many shows as I want. I'm going to see freaking Wayne Newton.
Okay.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Never been to a show in Vegas. I've only been to one buffet.
Do you think? I wonder if...
So there's a good chance if we went, I would never see you.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with
me.
We
would depart at the airport with a hearty handshake.
Yeah.
Say, if you need anything or you get lost, shoot me a text.
Meet back here in 48 hours.
Yeah. How about we make a plan on, like, Friday at noon we'll be at, the MGM to make sure we're all alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'm looking forward to the bachelor party in Vegas for our buddy. What's his name?
It's Matt.
Matt's big bachelor party.
Yeah. Okay, so you're in. Perfect. Okay, I'll invoice you.
Just shoot him a text right now. Just say,
yeah.
Just so you know, Steve's in for the big BP. Send.
Sent.
Did he reply?
Give it a moment. Not quite.
So, man, I can't wait. All right, got something to look forward to long term.
I have to tell you, it is a little bit surprising to me that you would go.
Absolutely.
Because I said when you were letting Toby out, I say that wholeheartedly. I can't think of a place that I think you would enjoy less.
I don't want to be there for a long time.
Oh yeah. I figured it out.
Everyone I've talked to said it's like 48 hours max.
For me, it's 3 days or 3 nights, I should say, because the first time I ever went, super young, just 21, didn't have a lot of money, went for like 5 days.
Oh,
and broke. Nothing to do, and it's Vegas, so nothing coming in and out of there is a properly timed flight.
Yeah.
So we checked out of the hotel at whatever time you check out of a hotel, 10 or 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Our flight wasn't until 2 a.m. the following morning. So you've got 14 hours to kill.
Did you at least leave your suitcases at the hotel?
Yeah, we left them at the hotel, and again, penniless. So went and saw a movie.
So you actually went to Vegas to then leave Vegas to go to the suburbs.
No. They had a theater on the Strip. Yeah.
I just assumed you were somewhere like 40 minutes outside of Vegas.
Yeah,
so
closer to Reno.
Yeah, so you could see a movie for $7 instead of like $32 on the Strip.
And this is pre-Uber, right? This is 2008.
Yeah.
Just 21. So yeah, it's at that point you're getting a cab or whatever to get there. So yeah, pay $60 for a cab to drive to Reno so I can save $4 on a movie ticket.
Well, hey, it's the biggest little city in the world.
Okay. Is there a town if you had to guess?
I am so excited about Mark's bachelor party.
If you had to pick a town in America, you know what? Let me say the world.
A town in all the world
That your wife would at least like to visit. What would you guess it would be?
Boy, that's a good question. Because I know what's on top of her list.
Of where she would want to go?
Yeah,
Let me take a guess on that.
Okay. I don't think you'll ever
really
in a million years guess.
So can you give me? I'm not even asking for a hint, but is it an off the beaten path choice?
It's not something that you like. It's not a major city. Or
okay, then I won't be able to guess because I would guess like she doesn't seem like a Sydney, Australia type of lady, but I could see her wanting to go to a London or a Paris.
I think I'm not sure if she's been.
And also, would her answer line up with yours? Like what you tell me in a moment, if you were to text her right now as well and say, what's the one city in the world that you think you would want to visit the most? Do you think those would line up based on your discussions with her over the years and what she would say today?
We kind of had this discussion like either yesterday or the day before of where she wants to go for like a big event, whether it's an anniversary or a birthday or something like that.
Montreal, Quebec.
Not Montreal, Quebec.
Okay. I mean, the fact that you said it's not a big city, it's
no,
really
it's
thrown me off.
It's not.
And I'm not saying I thought Annette was like, I want to go to L.A.
No. She's not a city.
Right.
She's not a big city person. Like she'll get overwhelmed pretty quickly in a major city,
right? And
especially with like public transportation and buses flying by and trains and everything.
And the vacations you guys have taken, you went to? Didn't you go to Jackson Hole?
No, we were in Denver.
You went to Denver, where you went to Red Rocks. You went to, was it Salt Lake City?
We went to Lake Tahoe.
Same thing, right?
Yeah,
all the Mormons, both places.
Yep, Mormons everywhere.
Amish too, I think.
Amish Mormons,
and then homeless people, right in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
homeless people and marijuana in Denver, and Amish people in Salt Lake City, and in
Amish Mormons,
Utah.
Yep.
What is your wife's favorite? And is it something that aligns with you? Like you would pick?
I think it'll be cool.
Okay.
I think it might make sense when I say it.
Okay.
If you can make the correlation.
I would guess music related. Is that
it's
anything
not.
to do with me? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Waco, Texas.
Oof.
And any female listeners out there,
they're already
probably understand exactly why my wife wants to go to Waco,
Texas.
Texas.
A bunch of people squealing about Magnolia right now.
Magnolia, yeah. Chip and Joanna. Chip and JoJo.
The only thing I would want to see there, and it couldn't be the more polar opposite, is to see the site of the Waco.
The Branch Davidian
yes.
compound?
Yeah. Like, okay, go see your shiplap with stars on the walls, and I'll go see this place that, a lot of people died.
Yeah, what's Waco stand for? What a cookout. Huh?
Wait, really? So is this something...
What's Waco stand for? We ain't coming out. I remember those jokes.
Now, we know Annette does not listen.
No.
So you guys are coming up on, it's the big 5.5 year.
Yeah.
In 2 months. 5.5 years.
Yep.
Is this something that, now that you know, is this something that you, like, hey, maybe I can plan a surprise...
A surprise Waco trip this year? No.
Well, you got 9 months before the actual anniversary.
No, it's not happening this year.
Okay, boy, romance is alive and well here in the Steve house.
Yeah, no, we got a...
We
got a couple of other big things this year that we'll be doing.
Okay. I feel like also you can't do a surprise trip to Waco to the point where you're like, you see the videos of families bringing their kids to Disney or whatever.
Right,
and that makes sense because the kids are super jacked when they're either walking up to Disney or when they find out that that's where they're going. If you try to do that with Annette, like, you can't withhold everything because you're going into an airport or whatever.
Right, yeah. What am I going to blindfold her?
Yeah.
And put earplugs in her ears?
So
you shut up and just follow me.
Yeah, like give her just a ton of Ambien in the morning coffee and say, I'll wheel you onto the plane.
I'll weekend at Bernie's her onto the plane.
I feel like once you do this at our ages, I booked us a surprise trip. So she's starting to, like, at that point, I think the brain is turning.
Yeah.
She's thinking, oh my God, is it Paris? Is it, Munich? Something super out there and different.
Like you said, Sydney.
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro.
And then you wheel her Ambien drooling self as she slowly starts to open her eyes and sees gate B11 Frontier Airlines headed to Waco.
Is there even an airport there?
Yeah, sorry. It's actually B11 to Arlington, where you have a Hertz Chevy Spark that fits her and half of you for like a 90-minute commute to Waco. And it might not come off as romantic as you think.
And of course, because I'm a stupid guy, she'll say, oh, what clothes should I pack? And I'll be like, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's in July. So she's there with snowshoes.
Yeah, a turtleneck. And you're wearing, shorts and a Second Chance Jeep shirt.
Right. What'd you dress for, idiot?
Okay. I don't even know if we have time because I would like to follow up at some point with you. You said you have a couple other big things planned this year, and I don't know what those are. I do need to close a loop.
Just a couple of weeks.
I do need to close a loop for minute number 2 of this podcast.
Okay.
And Steve, there are over 4 million podcasts.
Oh, wow. 4 million.
44% of them have less than 3 episodes. So we blew them out of the water.
Oh, I wonder whatever happened to, remember My Ponderous Podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I listened to like 2 episodes of that, and I really liked it. And then I don't think it ever went anywhere.
Of those 3 to 4 million, only 720,000 have more than 10 episodes.
Hey.
So we're already in the top. I mean, what's 720 out of 4 million? 720,000 out of 4 million. We're already in the top.
Roughly that
20%?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Out of those 720,000, only 156,000 are releasing episodes weekly. We are in
rarefied air.
The top percent of the top percent. Oof. So, I mean, that's 156.
So, by default, we're in the
out of 4 million? We're in the top 4%.
That's a t-shirt right there, right?
Yeah, we are in the
top
3.9 of the 4 million, 3.9%. We're in that rarefied air. Mm-hmm. The top 3.9% of weekly episodes, over more than 10 episodes. Whew. So I guess congratulations
Hey,
to us, right? It can't be said enough. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
See, these numbers don't really make sense because how were we number 1187
in Ghana?
In Ghana. The numbers just don't make sense to me.
Well, I don't think we have the reach in Ghana.
We're number 1187.
That shirt is still available at steveandkyle.com/merch. You can check that out. And I wonder where our ranking is now. But yeah, no, we are kind of a rare breed in the fact that we have done obviously way more episodes than the average podcast on a consistent basis, way longer than the average.
We are
podcast.
just 9 episodes short of having produced enough episodes to release one a day for an entire year.
Should we do that?
Just take the next year off.
Should we start doing now on the side gig? Yeah, I used to do it. Again, I don't know if you still do it. Not a fan of the production, so I don't listen.
Sure.
Should we maybe every Friday start releasing to put it back in? Now, I'm not saying us do anything.
No.
Republishing like an old one, starting from number, whatever, not number 1, because I don't think any of us want to hear that again. But like number 6, or just a random one. Maybe not in order, but on Friday, a Steve and Kyle review, where it's
a flashback Friday.
Yes, an episode number 10. So if you have extra time on your hands to listen to this content, we'll republish to the top of your feed what we were doing or we just do 5 years ago this week type of thing, or 6 years ago this week, and we work our way through our catalog because we have a rotating audience to the point where obviously the amount of people we have listening to us compared to the amount of people who have heard everything we've done. It can't be super high.
I wonder if do you think there's one person who's listened to every single episode?
No question. I wonder who it would be if you've listened to every single episode of this podcast, including, the videos that we released, the ice cream taste test, all those things over the years. Let us know. I would love to talk to you on next week and just say why. And, how many relationships have you lost due to this baffling need to listen to this in the car? But should we start doing, would anybody care to hear that? A Friday flashback to where on every Friday we would republish an old episode.
It's not going to throw it on the poll.
It's not going to be a ton of new content. Maybe if we recorded an opening 30 seconds to an episode, just republish.
Yep. Yeah. It requires work. Here we go. I got to download a file, record something, add it to the beginning.
No, listen, this is all true. This is all very true. Well, you heard it here first. Steve wants to juggle at your wedding. To recap today, Steve talked about boning with PK.
Okay, it sounds weird the way.
Yeah. Sorry, that was maybe phrased incorrectly. He wants to juggle at your wedding. Mm-hmm. He's coming to a bachelor party in Las Vegas.
Oh, can't wait for Manny's bachelor party.
And he's going to drug and throw on a plane his wife to go to the middle of Texas in June wearing turtlenecks.
It's turtleneck season in Waco.
I will post that on the poll. Would you listen to republished Friday flashback of our podcast on a weekly basis? Before we get out of here, I want to mention the sticker wall. You were going to try to get a picture of handsome Toby sitting in front of that sticker wall to show that it is still missing. There's plenty of room.
About half.
Yeah, there's plenty. And we can always make room as well.
There's quite a bit of real estate.
Yeah. So please send those stickers, whether it be local, podcast related, side gig related, whatever it is you think would fit well. Steve has done an immaculate job at making those look seamless. Finding the space where you need to. Tremendous job by Steve. Maybe we can post an updated picture of the sticker wall here today.
Some of my favorites right off the bat. Oh, my God. Looking at one of those stickers reminded me of something that needs to be talked about. Actually, let's talk about it real quick right now.
Okay.
There's a Kickstarter that was shared with me on Twitter, and I think also the side gig.
Okay. So I'm already not happy because they didn't include the podcast. Because now, is it a name, though, that I would recognize from the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, the person that shared it, no, but the event, yes. Okay. Because this is something that we've talked about a great amount on this podcast. Okay. I had a pilgrimage last year for this very thing.
Okay.
And that's the 1986 movie Rad.
Oh, God, yeah.
1980 something movie.
That's right. You and
Rad.
Tony from Lansing.
Me and Tony from Lansing met up, had a man date. Well, now, the folks at Riff Tracks, are you familiar with them?
Yes.
MST3K?
Yes,
Mystery
familiar.
Science Theater 3000. They will be doing a live recording where they are riffing on the movie Rad.
Okay.
It's in theaters, select theaters, this summer, August 17th, 2023. They had hoped to raise $250,000.
That's about $225,000 more than I thought they would be able to gain.
They surpassed that. They were at 263 yesterday. Oh,
wow.
317.
Now, is this being buoyed? Now, can you sort by... Oh, it's a Kickstarter, so you can't. I was thinking like a GoFundMe to where you'd be able to sort by the top donations, because I feel like this would be like where it's buoyed by one of them being donated $75,000.
Yeah.
So what are they kickstarting for when they just sit in a theater and make fun of a movie?
Well, I would assume that it costs them money because there's a production element to it, so they have to.
Okay.
But then it's also getting sent out to various theaters around the country.
So they're hosting almost like a Fathom event that you see advertisements for.
Yeah. So this is happening.
And that is in August
17th.
Wow.
2023. We're going, right?
700 plus cinemas nationwide. We can only hope 0 of them are in Michigan. And so they're going to be airing their version of it live?
I guess so,
Not
yeah.
So the movie will be playing, but with their audio track?
Let's watch the Kickstarter video.
Hello, my friends. This is Mike Nelson, along with Bill Corbett and Kevin Murphy. We're right here in the Riff Track studio.
That's what it is, and welcome to our 10th Kickstarter campaign.
10th?
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
10 years.
Amazing. It feels like it's only been like 9.5 years.
11. It feels. Oh wait, that's going the other way.
That's right. Well, this year we have something really special. It's a genre we've never done before. We'll be riffing the 1986 BMX bike action adventure Rad.
That is not even a genre per se, but it is about some. I'm reading here, rad young kids who hope to compete in a professional BMX bike racing thing, which apparently was a real phenomenon back then.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that back in 1986. You guys didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Bike race? It's
You
not
were
true.
rad?
Wow. This is a great movie. It's got Talia Shire from Rocky, Lori Loughlin from Full House and Jail. And it's got Olympic gymnast Bart Connor.
Sure.
All professional BMX people on the
kids.
side.
Well, it's simply star-studded and action-packed. Those
Oh boy, bummer for Bill Allen.
Didn't even get a mention.
They showed his back in the trailer.
But Bart Connor getting a shout out.
Yeah.
BMX bikes just explode off the screen.
They go fast.
And we're going to rip it live in hundreds of theaters nationwide.
And we'll also start things off with a brand new, never-before-seen short.
We have lots of great rewards at every level. Kevin, you're one of the rewards, apparently.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be offering 2 brand new shorts, a video of the live show that you can download, autographed scripts from the live show, an exclusive T-shirt, and Bill will pen you your own personal limerick.
I know, it's weird. I will.
He will.
Also, a special collectible challenge coin for Traxions. That's Patreon supporters.
Plus, Kevin will write and record a jingle about a subject of your choice.
I think I might be in.
So can we just buy a ticket and not have to do all of that?
They'll write and record a jingle?
I mean, we could use we could use a little refresher on the music.
Yeah.
So
all right, so
you need to donate to get a jingle then.
So I need to see, is there a list of theaters?
Should have I can't imagine yet.
700 plus movie theaters.
So Fathom events, there will be some nearby. If it's a Fathom event, those are always shown at one of the company nearby will have it at least on one of their screens.
Okay. Ugh.
August 17, 2023.
August 17th.
Can't make a guarantee I'll be there.
Disappointing.
No guarantees. Busy that month.
So this is twice now. You're going to be busy.
Possibly. I'm just saying August is really busy.
Crap. It's a Thursday and I'm going to be
You're gone?
traveling somewhere.
Shucks.
That's all right, though. I will find a theater
Wherever you're traveling.
where I'm traveling.
Maybe you can get the side gig guys to come with you to see
I bet
this.
at least one of them would.
Oof. Boy, I would feel like they'd be suckered in.
So you're out, is what you're saying?
Well, you physically won't be here, so yes, I am out.
I'll take the Friday off from work. You come travel with us.
Well, listen, you've got the rider. If you can get me an extra seat on that plane to wherever you're going, and
We're
again,
driving. Ooh, little hint for all you folks who are trying to
pass. Oh, but as we get out of here, Steve, I think you told me before we walked in here you wanted to make the big announcement on the podcast today about who the new host is going to be on the Sidekick show.
Absolutely.
So you can announce it here today before the regular audience gets it. Because it is Sunday, February 25th, or Saturday, February 25th today.
Yeah.
You can tell everybody right
Here it
now.
is. Big news. You heard it first, right here. You over there?
Mailing address for the sticker wall is in the notes of this podcast. You can send us a DM if you can't find that. We'd love to fill that thing up. 2023, the year of the sticker wall.
Yeah.
And also, if you're getting married, just those few minor details. And we would love to join you on your day of nuptials.
Yeah. Now look, remember the
What were the demands again?
the demands were obviously we're invited.
Yep.
We each get a +1
Yep. Which I might not even utilize. I just want that option.
head table.
Yes.
Some kind of speech, dedication, blessing, and also I get a talent fee because of the talent that I would be performing when I juggle
You're going to be juggling
at the reception.
at the reception. And again, that is all eyes on Steve's situation, so the DJ is going to have to be instructed to, shut her down.
Yeah. All right, thank you. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Talk to you next week.